Our engagement dinner felt like a scene lifted out of a dream. Candlelight softened every corner of the room, casting a warm glow over sparkling glassware and quiet music that floated like a gentle rhythm through the air. It was the first time both our families sat together, and my heart swelled with nervous anticipation. This was the beginning of forever with Ethan, the man I loved and believed would always be mine. He looked flawless that night, tuxedo pressed sharp, smile so radiant it seemed to light up the whole room every time our eyes met. His hand held mine between courses, steadying me, grounding me, convincing me that everything was unfolding exactly as it should. But then I made a mistake I could never undo. I'd always been the one who cracked jokes, quick with sarcastic remarks, playful teases that eased tension and made people laugh. Humor was my shield, my way of connecting, deflecting, entertaining, and it almost always worked. That night, when it was my turn to raise a glass, I leaned into that role again. I wanted the toast to be lighthearted, memorable. I started with a jab, teasing that Ethan wasn't the most traditionally masculine man I'd ever dated. Laughter filled the table, and Ethan smiled, but in his eyes flickered something fragile. I didn't stop. I told the story of how he'd screamed louder than me when a spider appeared in my apartment. The chuckles that followed were polite, thinner, tinged with discomfort. I ignored it. I thought I was still being funny. And then I went too far. I made a joke about his confidence in the bedroom. The room fell silent. The laughter evaporated in an instant, leaving only the heavy stillness of humiliation. Ethan's jaw clenched. His smile vanished. His gaze dropped to his plate, his face drained of color. That was the moment I knew. I had shattered something precious. Dinner ended in a heavy hush. Ethan spoke little, his silence louder than any outburst. As we left, I reached for his hand. He pulled away. His voice was calm but final. I just need some space tonight. The next morning, he was gone. His things were packed. On the counter sat a folded note. I thought you respected me last night. Show me otherwise. I need to rethink everything. Calls, voicemails, emails, nothing reached him. Days later, a courier delivered a small box. Inside was the engagement ring. No explanation, no goodbye, just a cold, gleaming reminder of what I had destroyed with a thoughtless laugh. Through a friend, I learned Ethan had gone to stay with his brother. He hadn't stopped loving me, but he'd said love alone wasn't enough. Without respect, without trust, love couldn't survive. Those words gutted me. They forced me to face what I had long avoided. I began therapy. I confronted how I'd used humor to hide fear, how I deflected intimacy with sarcasm, even with the man I loved most. I had to admit my jokes weren't harmless. They could wound. They had wounded. Slowly, painfully, I began to unlearn old habits and sit with honesty instead of hiding behind wit. Months passed. I didn't date. I wasn't waiting for Ethan exactly, but some quiet hope lingered. Then one afternoon, my phone lit up with his name. His message was simple. I've been thinking, can we talk? When we met at a small cafe, he seemed steadier, stronger, more assured. We talked for hours. I apologized without excuses, laying myself bare. And he listened. He still cared, but trust, he said, wouldn't rebuild overnight. So we agreed to start slow. No pressure, no labels, just two people, choosing honesty and giving love a second chance.